The following is a list of compression formats and related codecs. Audio compression formats. Non-compression. Linear pulse code modulation. LPCM. Generally only described as PCM. Is the format for uncompressed audio in media files, and it is also the standard for CD-DA. Note that in computers, LPCM is usually stored in container formats such as WAV, AIFF, or O, or as raw audio format. Although not technically necessary. FFmpeg, pulse density modulation. PDM, direct stream digital, DSD, is standard for Super Audio CD. FUBAR 2000 Super Audio CD decoder, based on MPEG-4 DST reference decoder. FFmpeg, based on DSD2 PCM. Pulse amplitude modulation. PAM, lossless compression. Actively used. Most popular. Apple Lossless Audio Codec. ALAC. Apple QuickTime. LibreLAC. FFmpeg. Free Lossless Audio Codec. FLAC. LibFLAC. FFmpeg. Monkeys Audio. APE. Monkeys Audio SDK. FFmpeg. Decoder only. OptimFrog. OFR. Tom's Verlustfreier Audio Compressor. TAC. TAC SDK. FFmpeg. Decoder only. WavePack. West Virginia. LibWavePack. FFmpeg. True Audio. TTA. Libta. FFmpeg. Windows Media Audio Lossless. WMAL. Windows Media Encoder. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Other. DTS HD Master Audio. Also known as DTS++ and DCA-XLL. Libca. Decoder only. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Dolby Trude. Standard for DVD audio and Blu-ray. Mathematically based on MLP. FFmpeg. Meridian Lossless Packing. MLP. Also known as Packed PCM. PPCM. Standard for DVD audio and DVD. FFmpeg. MPEG-4 audio lossless coding. MPEG-4 ALS. SSC. DST. ALS and SLS reference software. ISO, IEC 14496-5. 2001, AMD. 10. 2007. FFmpeg. Decoding only. MPEG-4 scalable lossless coding. MPEG-4 SLS. Parts of it are used in HDAAC, SSC, DST, ALS and SLS reference software. ISO, IEC 14496-5. 2001, AMD. 10. 2007. Real audio lossless. Real player. FFmpeg. Decoding only. BFD-LAC. BFD lossless audio compression. Ongoing development. F-Expansion's BFD3 drum software. 2013 to 2017. Oddball. ATRAC advanced lossless. AAL. Extremely unpopular. FFmpeg. Lossy decoder only. Direct stream transfer. DST. Only used for direct stream digital. SSC. DST. ALS and SLS reference software. ISO, IEC 14496-5. 2001, AMD. 10. 2007. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Original sound quality. OSQ. Only used in Wavelab. Discontinued. Lossless audio. LA. No update for 10+ years. Shorten. SHN. Officially discontinued. Libshan. FFmpeg. Decoding only. Lossless predictive audio compression. LPAC. Predecessor of MPEG-4 ALS. Lossless transform audio compression. LTAC. Predecessor of LPAC. MPEG-1 audio layer 3 HD. MP3 HD. Officially discontinued. RK Audio, RKAU, officially discontinued. Lossy compression, equals general equals, adaptive differential, or delta, pulse code modulation, ADPCM, C pulse code modulation, adaptive transform acoustic coding, ATRAC, used in mini-disc devices, FFM PEG, decoder only, ATSC, ETSC standards, Dolby Digital, AC3, ATSCA, 52, ETSC 102366, FFM PEG, Libre 52, decoder only, DTS coherent acoustics, DTS, Digital Theater System coherent acoustics, ETSC 102114, FFM PEG, Libca, decoder only, Impala 4-scene audio codec, ITU standards, G. 719, G. 722, FFM PEG, G. 722.1 and G. 722.1 Annex C, LIBG 722_1, Libsiren, part of LIBMSN and MSN Pecan, G. 722.2, 3GPPTS 26.173 AMRA WB speech codec. See source code. Reference implementation. OpenCore AMRA. Decoder. Visual on AMRA WB encoder. FFM PEG. Decoding only. MPEG-1 audio and MPEG-2 audio. Layer I. MP1. MPEG-1. MPEG-2 and non-ISO MPEG 2.5. FFM PEG. Decoder only. Layer 2. MP2. MPEG-1. MPEG-2 and non-ISO MPEG 2.5. FFM PEG. 2 LAMI. Encoding only. 2 LAMI. Encoding only. Layer 3. MP3. MPEG-1. MPEG-2 and non-ISO MPEG 2.5. FFM PEG. Decoding only. LAME. Encoding only. Advanced audio coding. AAC. MPEG-2 Part 7. FAAC. Encoder. And FAAD. Decoder. FFM PEG. iTunes. Nero AAC codec. Visual on AAC encoder. A. K. A. Libvo_AACENC. Fraunhofer FDKAAC. Libaic Plus. MPEG-4 audio. Advanced audio coding. AAC. MPEG-4 Part 3 Subpart 4. HEAAC. FAAC. FAAD2. FFM PEG. iTunes. Nero AAC codec. MPEG-4 AAC reference software. ISO IEC 14496-5. 2001. Harmonic and individual lines and noise. HILN. MPEG-4 parametric audio coding. MPEG-4 referenced software. ISO IEC 14496-5. 2001. Twin VQ. MPEG-4 referenced software. ISO IEC 14496-5. 2001. FFM PEG. Decoding only. BSAC. Bit-sliced arithmetic coding. MPEG-4 referenced software. ISO IEC 14496-5. 2001. MusePack. A. K. A. MPEG Plus. MusePack SV8 tools. FFM PEG. Decoding only. IETF standards. Opus. RFC 6716. Based on Silk vocoder and Celt codec. Libopus. FFM PEG. Decoding only. AT&T perceptual audio coder. Q-Design. Purchased by DTS. Q-Design music codec used in Apple QuickTime. FFM PEG. Decoding only. Picture et al. Purchased by Polycom. Siren 7. LIBG 722_1. LibSiren. Part of LIBMSN and MSN Pecan. Siren 14. LIBG 722_1. Siren 22. NTT Twin VQ. FFM PEG. Decoder only. NTT Twin VQ encoder. NTT Twin VQ player. Voxware Metasound. A variant of NTT Twin VQ. Windows Media Player. VoxMSDEC. AX. FFM PEG. Decoder only. Vorbis. AOTUV. FFM PEG. LibVorbis. Tremor. Decoder only. Windows Media Audio. WMA. Windows Media Encoder. FFM PEG. Bluetooth. Bluetooth Special Interest Group. Low Complexity Subband Coding. SBC. Blues. Qualcomm Technologies International. Formerly CSR. aptX. A. aptX. Used in Bluetooth. Qualcomm LIBBT aptX. aptX HD. Sony. LDAC. Used in Bluetooth. Voice equals. Low bit rate. Optimized for speech. XIPH. Org Foundation. SPIX. Patent-free libSPIX. Dialogic ADPCM. Vox. International Voice Association. EVA. Standards. Digital Speech Standard. Standard Play. DSSSP. FFM PEG. Decoding only. Digital Speech Standard. Quality Play. DSSQP. ITU Standards. G. 711. ALAW and MULAW compounding. Also known as PCM at voice frequencies. FFM PEG. LIBOV codec. G. 711.0. G. 711 LLC. G. 711.1. Wideband extension for G. 711. G. 711.1D. Super wideband extension for G. 711.1. G. 718. G. 718B. Super wideband extension for G. 718. G. 719. G. 721. Superseded by G. 726. G. 722. SBADPCM. FFM PEG. G. 722B. Super wideband extension for G. 722. G. 722.1. G. 722.2. AMRA WB. 3GPP TS26.173 AMRA WB Speech Codec. See source code. Reference implementation. OpenCore AMRA. Decoder. FFM PEG. Decoder only. G. 723. 24 and 40 kbit per second DPCM. Extension to G. 721. Superseded by G. 726. G. 723.1. MPCMLQ or ACELP. FFM PEG. G. 726. ADPCM. FFM PEG. LIBOV codec. G. 728. LDCELP. G. 729. CSACELP. FFM PEG. Decoder only. G. 729A. G. 729D. FFM PEG. Decoder only. G. 729.1. Wideband extension for G. 711. G. 729.1e. Super wideband extension for G. 729.1. Google. Internet Speech Audio Codec. ISAC. WebTC. Nelamuzza ASAO Codec. FFmpeg. LibF Codec. Picturetel PT716. PT716 Plus. Picturetel PT724. Taudio, used by Microsoft Live Communication Server. SVOPC, used by Skype. OpenLPC, created by Future Dynamics Short Voice. LibVD. TrueSpeech Triple Rate Coder. TRC. Used in some pocket recorders. ANSI, SCTE. ANSI, SCTE 2421-2006. Broad Voice 16. Broad Voice Speech Codec Open Source C Code. ANSI, SCTE 2422-2013. ILBCV 2.0. ANSI, SCTE 2423-2007. Broad Voice 32. Broad Voice Speech Codec Open Source C Code. IETF-RFCs. Internet Low Bitrate Codec. ILBC. RFC 3951. Developed by Global IP Solutions, Google. WebTC. IETF Internet Draft. IPMR Speech Codec. Used by Spirit DSP and many others. Silk. Used by Skype. Kelt. Developed by XIPH. Org Foundation. libcelt. MPEG-4 Audio. MPEG-4 CELP. MPEG-4 HVXC. Skyphone MPLP. Inmarsat. Inmarsat MIMBE. Inmarsat Mini MMBE. Microsoft DirectPlay. Those codecs are used by many PC games which use voice chats via Microsoft DirectPlay API. Voxware MetaVoice. Windows Media Player. Vox MiVDec. AXE. TrueSpeech. Windows Media Player. Soft32. ACM. FFmpeg. Decoder only. MSGSM. Windows Media Player. MSGSM32. ACM. LIBGSM. FFmpeg. Decoder only. MSADPCM. Windows Media Player. MSADP32. ACM. FFmpeg. Mobile phone. Generation 2. European Telecommunications Standards Institute. ETSI. GSM. Full rate. GSM 06.10. RPE LTP. LIBGSM. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Half rate. GSM 06.20. VSELP 5.6 kbit per second. Enhanced full rate. GSM 06.60. ACELP 12.20 kbit per second. Compatible with AMRA mode AMRA_12.20. Telecommunications Industry Association. Tier. Is 95. A. K. A. CD May 1. IS 96A. QCELP 8 kbit per second. Is 127. EVRC 8 kbit per second. Is 733. QCELP 13 kbit per second. Telecommunications Industry Association. Tier. Is 54. Is 136. A. K. A. Digital amps. Is 85. VSELP 8 kbit per second. Is 641. ACELP 7.4 kbit per second. Compatible with AMRA mode AMRA_7.40. Association of Radio Industries and Businesses. ARIB. RCRSTD 27. PDC. PDCHR. SciCELP 3.45 kbit per second. PDCFR. VSELP 11.2 kbit per second. PDCEFRCSACELP 8 kbit per second. A. K. A. G. 729. PDC FRACELP 6.7 kbit per second. Compatible with AMRA mode AMRA_6.70. Generation 3/4. Third generation partnership project. 3GPP. Adaptive multi-rate. AMRA. AMRA-NB. 3GPP-TS 26.073. AMRA speech codec. See source code. Reference implementation. OpenCore AMRA. 1 may compile FFmpeg with enable lib OpenCore AMRNB to incorporate the OpenCore lib FFmpeg. By default decoder only, but see above the compiling options to incorporate the OpenCore lib AMRA WB. 3GPP-TS 26.173 AMRA WB speech codec. See source code. Reference implementation. OpenCore AMRA. Decoder. From OpenCore. 1 may compile FFmpeg with enable lib OpenCore AMRWB to incorporate the OpenCore lib vo AMRUBank encoder. From Visualon. Included in Android. 1 may compile FFmpeg with enable lib vo AMRUBank to incorporate the Visualon lib FFmpeg. By default decoder only, but see above the compiling options. AMRA WB+. 3GPP-TS 26.273 AMRA WB+ speech codec. See source code. Reference implementation. Enhanced voice services. EVS. 3GPP-TS 26.443 codec for enhanced voice services. EVS. ANSI C code. Floating point. Third generation partnership project 2. 3GPP2. Enhanced variable rate codec. EVRC. A is 127. Based on RCELP. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Enhanced variable rate codec B. EVRCB. QCELP. Qualcomm code excited linear prediction. QCELP8. A Smartrate or IS96C. FFmpeg. Decoder only. QCELP13. A Pura voice or IS733. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Selectable mode vocoder. SMV. Variable multi-rate wideband. VMRWB. Professional mobile radio. APCO. Project 25 Phase 2 Enhanced Full Rate. AMBE plus 24400 bit per second with 2800 bit per second FEC. Project 25 Phase 2 Half Rate. AMBE plus 22450 bit per second with 1150 bit per second FEC. Also used in NXDN and DMR. MBLIB. Decoder only. Project 25 Phase 1 Full Rate. IMBE 7200 bit per second. MBLIB. Decoder only. European Telecommunications Standards Institute. ETSI. ETS 300-3952. Tetra ACELP 4.6 kbit per second. TETRAPOL. RPCLP 6 kbit per second. D-Star Digital Voice. AMBE 2400 bit per second with 1200 bit per second FEC. MBLIB. Decoder only. Professional Digital Trunking System Industry Association. PDT Alliance. Standards. NVOC, used in China. Spirit DSPRALCWI. DSPINI. SPR Robust. TWELP Robust. Codec 2. RLCLP. Used in Japanese railways. Military. U.S. Department of Defense. DoD. Federal Standard. FS 1015. LPC 10. Hawk Voice. LibVD. FS1016, CELP, Hawk Voice, LibVD, FS1023, CVSD 12 kbit per second, United States Military Standard, MIL-STD, MIL-STD 188-113, CVSD 16 kbit per second and 32 kbit per second, SOX, LibSOX, MIL-STD 3005, A, K, A, MELP, Texas Instruments 2.4 kbit per second MELP Proposed Federal Standard Speech Coder, NATO, STANAG 4198, A, K, A, LPC 10E, STANAG 4591, A, K, A, MELP, BBNNRV, developed in DARPA program. Text compression formats, BIM, Continuous Media Markup Language, CMML, MPEG-4 Part 17, E, G, 3GPP Timed Text, TREC, Video Compression Formats, Lossless Video Compression, ITUT, ISO, IEC Standards, H, 264 Lossless, X 264, Encoder only, FFmpeg, decoder only, uses X264 for encoding, Motion JPEG 2000 lossless, Libopene JPEG, IETF standards, ZRLE, RFC 6143 7.7.6, used by VNC, SMPTE standards, VC2HQ lossless, A, K, A, Dirac Pro lossless, LibDirac, LibSchrödinger, Alperisoft's lossless video codec, Alpuri, Apple Animation, QuickTime RLE, QuickTime, FFmpeg, Arathyev, Ivislib, LCL, VFW codec, MSZH and ZLIB, FFmpeg, Autodesk Animator codec, AASC, FFmpeg, decoder only, Cam Studio GZIP, LZO, FFmpeg, decoder only, Chennai codec, EVX2, DxTory, FFmpeg, decoder only, Fast codec, FFV1 FFV1, S compression factor is comparable to Motion JPEG 2000, but based on quicker algorithms. Allows real-time capture, written by Michael Niedermayer and published as part of FFmpeg under GNU LGPL. FFmpeg, Flash Screen Video V1, V2 FFmpeg, FM Screen Capture Codec, Fraps Codec, FPS1, FFmpeg, decoder only, Grass Valley lossless, Grass Valley codec option, FFmpeg, decoder only, Huffy or Huffy was written by Ben Rudiak Gould and published under the terms of the new GPL as free software, meant to replace uncompressed YCBCR as a video capture format. It uses very little CPU but takes a lot of disk space. See also FFV Huff, which is an FFmpeg-only version of it. FFmpeg, IG codec, Inaheim, R supports screen capture codec. FFmpeg, decoder only. Lagorid, a more up-to-date fork of Huffy is available as Lagorid codec. VFW codec, FFmpeg, decoder only. Loco, based on JPEG LS. FFmpeg, decoder only. Magicuve SDK, FFmpeg, decoder only. MSU lossless video codec, MSU screen capture lossless. Core PNG, based on PNG. FFmpeg, ScreenPresso, SPV1, FFmpeg, decoder only. ScreenPressor, a successor of MSU screen capture lossless. Shear Video, FFmpeg, decoder only. Snow lossless, FFmpeg, TechSmith Screen Capture Codec, TSCC, InSharpen Video Codec for QuickTime, FFmpeg, decoder only, Topanoki, UT Video Libut Video, FFmpeg, VBLFmpeg, decoder only, VMNC VMware Screen Codec, used by VMware Workstation, FFmpeg, decoder only, VP9 by Google libVPX, FFmpeg, decoder only, YULS, Zero Codec, FFmpeg, decoder only, ZMBV, Zip Motion Block Video, Codec, used by DOSBox, FFmpeg, Cinnamon RAW, created by Adobe, used by Blackmagic, equals lossless game codecs equals DXA, SCUMVM tools, encoder only, FFmpeg, decoder only, lossy compression, equals general equals, Blackbird 4scene video codec, Cinepack, A, Apple Compact Video, FFmpeg, decoder only, Dirac, Schrödinger, Dirac Research, FFmpeg, decoder only, Firebird Original 4scene video codec, H261, PX64, FFmpeg H261, LibF codec, MPEG-1 Part 2, MPEG-1 Video, Elecard MPEG-1 decoder, encoder, FFmpeg, Main Concept MPEG-1, TMPG-ENC, H262, MPEG-2 Part 2, MPEG-2 Video, Canopus Procoder, CinemaCraft encoder, Elecard MPEG-2 Video decoder, encoder, FFmpeg, Inter-Video Video decoder, Main Concept MPEG-2, TMPG-ENC, H263, FFmpeg H263, LibF codec, MPEG-4 Part 2, MPEG-4 Advanced Simple Profile, 3IVX, Dive, Elecard MPEG-4 decoder, encoder, LibF codec, HDX4, Nero Digital, Xvid, H264, MPEG-4 AVC or MPEG-4 Part 10, MPEG-4 Advanced Video Coding, approved for Blu-ray, Core AVC, decoder only, limited to below high 10p profile, Elecard AVC decoder, encoder, baseline and main profile, main concept, Nero Digital, QuickTime H264, Sorensen AVC Pro Codec, Sorensen's new implementation, Open 264, baseline profile only, X264, encoder only, supports some of high 422p and high 444pp features, FFmpeg, decoder only, MPEG-4 AVC variants, MPEG-4 Web Video Coding or MPEG-4 Part 29, a subset of MPEG-4 AVC baseline profile, Scalable Video Coding, XAVC, HEVC, X265, encoder only, INDAO2, RTV 2.1, 3/4 FFmpeg, decoder only, OMS Video, on two technologies TrueMotion VP3, VP4, VP5, VP6, VP7, VP8, under the name The Duck Corporation, TrueMotion S, TrueMotion 2, TrueMotion RT 2.0, FFmpeg, decoder only, Real Video, FFmpeg, Snow Wavelet Codec, Sorensen Video, Sorensen Spark, FFmpeg, Thera, FFmpeg, decoding only, libtheora, VC1, SMPTE standard, subset of Windows Media Video, FFmpeg, decoder only, VP9 by Google, Windows Media Video, WMV, WAX, part of the Windows Media series, FFmpeg, Global Standards. GBT. Audio Video Standard. AVS. AVS 1P2. GBT 20090.2-2006. FFmpeg. Decoding only. AVS 1P7. AVS-M. Under development. AVS SP2. Under development. AVS 2P2. A. K. A. IEEE 1857.4. Under development. UAVS2 encoder. UAVS2D. Decoder only. SVAC. GBT 25724-2010. Equals intraframe only equals. Motion JPEG. FFmpeg. Morgan Multimedia MJPEG. Pegasus PIC Video MJPEG. Main Concept MJPEG. ISO IEC Standard. Motion JPEG 2000. ISO IEC 15444-3. ITUTT 802. Libopene JPEG. FFmpeg. DV. IEC 61834. FFmpeg. MPEG-4 SSTP. ISO IEC 14496-2. Red code RAW. Used in RED cameras. A modified version of JPEG 2000 LibRed code. Apple PROS 422 4444. FFmpeg. Apple Intermediate Codec. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Apple Pixlet. FFmpeg. Decoder only. AVC Intra. X264. Encoder only. FFmpeg. Decoder only. AVC Ultra, a subset of MPEG-4 AVC High 444pp profile. XAVCI. SMPTE Standard. VC2 SMPTE Standard. A. K. A. Dirac Pro. SMPTE SUN 2042. Schrödinger. Dirac Research. VC2 reference encoder and decoder, developed by BBC. A. K. A. Dirac. FFmpeg. The encoder only supports VC2HQ profile. VC3 SMPTE Standard. SMPTE SUN 2019. Avid DNX HD. FFmpeg. VC5 SMPTE Standard. SMPTE SUN 2073. GoPro Cineform. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Grass Valley HQ, HQA, HQX. Grass Valley Codec Option. FFmpeg. Decoder only. NewTek NT25. NewTek Speed HQ. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Equals stereoscopic 3D equals. Multi-view video coding. Equals video games equals. Bink Video. Smack Video. FFmpeg. LibOV codec. Nintendo MobiClip video codec. CreSavDec codec. AirMPEG variant with 11-bit DC and color space correction. Used in SavDec middleware. Creepy 256 used in SavDec middleware for Nintendo DS. Indeo Video Interactive, aka Indeo 4/5. Used in PC games for Microsoft Windows. FFmpeg. Decoder only. Equals real-time equals. HAP, HAP Alpha, HAP Q. VIDVOX HAP codec. FFmpeg. DXV codec. Resolume DXV codec. FFmpeg. Decoder only. VESA display stream compression. DSC. See also. Open source codecs and containers. Comparison of video codecs. Comparison of audio coding formats. Comparison of container formats. Comparison of media players. RTP audio-video profile. Subjective codec comparison. Audio formats comparison. A look at 6 lossless formats and 5 lossy formats. http://www.4cc org Codecs. PHP. List of codec 4-digit codes. Like div3. Xvid. Interactive blind listening test of audio codecs over the Internet. HTTP. MediaInfo. SourceForge. Net. N. Support formats. List of different audio codecs and metadata by them. Online video format identification tool, designed primarily for CCTV video formats and codecs.